Hello, my brothers and sisters from Cameroon. My name is Brian Bunwetrie, and I am the creator of the CTBN web application. CTBN stands for the Cameroon Textbook Network. Now, if you are looking at this video, it means that you may be wondering, what problem is the CTBN trying to solve? How does the CTBN work? How do I access the CTBN web application? So those are the questions that this video is going to be answering. Now, for the first part, I'll be talking about how the CTBN works and the problem it tries to solve. The second part will be talking about how to access the CTBN web application. Now, every academic year, many parents are getting more difficulty in getting the textbooks that are needed by their children to effectively resume the academic year. And it is mainly due to two reasons. The first one being the lack of visibility of the suppliers, those that are supposed to provide the textbooks, make it available for parents to buy. And I'm talking about the bookstores, the individuals, like individuals that have used textbooks most of the time, but it could be individuals that also have brand new textbooks, and sometimes publishers. Now, publishers normally wholesale to bookstores and maybe some individuals, so they usually do not directly sell textbooks. But the thing is that at the end of academic years, most of the times you have publishers that end up with books. They end up with textbooks that weren't sold. They end up with textbooks that weren't sold that could have been bought by a parent and provided to a child that unfortunately went to school without that textbook. So those are the suppliers. So the CTBN web application solves the problem of lack of visibility of these suppliers. Now, it also solves the supposed rarity of these textbooks. Textbooks are not really rare in Cameroon. They are not just seen, they are not visible. And they are not visible because the people that are supposed to sell them are not visible. So, those are the two problems that CTBN is trying to solve. Obviously, if things are visible, then it means that you can obtain them. If you do not know that something exists, it will be difficult for you to get it. But if you know that it exists and you know exactly where and who to get it from, you can get it. So, in a sense, CTBN solves both the visibility problem but also the acquisition of these textbooks. Now, the CTBN platform was built for the primary and secondary system of education, primary and secondary. So that's what CTBN is. Now, how it works, it's simple. The web application provides a means for suppliers, publishers, some publishers, because technically they wholesale to bookstores and individuals, so suppliers and customers. Customers are parents, guardians, or even students themselves, because the platform is safe. There's no illicit content. So platform is safe. So suppliers and customers are able to join the platform. When they join the platform, what do? Suppliers can upload a list of the textbooks that they have for that academic year. Each textbook needs a name, a unit price, a subject, a quantity, the authors, etc. Generally, the items that each textbook will, or the attributes rather, that the textbooks will have are determined by the National Textbook Commission, and generally with in collaboration with the Minedup and Minesec. So once they have that list, they can upload it on the platform. And what is important really is the name of the textbook and the quantity that they offer. So the name of the textbook, the quantity, the unit price, the authors, right? So once they have uploaded that list to CTBN, it's available now for every parent. So every parent, no matter where they are found in Cameroon, can know that in the far north or in the south region, or in the north, northwest, southwest, west, east, right, center, littoral, in any Adam or any region, they know exactly which suppliers are there and the textbooks that they have. Now, the parents, how do they do? Once you have gotten a book list from your school or the school of your child, you can simply upload of the names of the textbooks that your child needs. Now, that's one of the information because there are many other information like the search region, because when you upload the names of the book and you want to launch a search, you will need to specify the search region. In which region are these textbooks going to be searched for? So once the parent has uploaded the list of textbooks that their child needs, they can launch a search. And once they have launched the search, a list of result, that a search result list with suppliers that have at least one of their textbooks is displayed. And the list is displayed in descending order. That's from suppliers that have all their textbooks to suppliers that have at least one of their textbooks. So that's how the site works. Now, to be able to access the CTBN web application, you need to know about the World Wide Web, www, and browsers. So the CTBN web application is a web application. Sorry, it's a web application, and who says web says WWE, the World Wide Web, which is a network of servers that contain information that can be accessed by clients. Clients are web browsers. Now, the information that are stored on those servers are mostly web pages, but they can be of other types like media files, among others. So, on the image, as you can see, we have many browsers. Actually, we have Safari from Apple, we have Firefox from Mozilla, we have Chrome from Google, Edge from Microsoft, and Opera from Opera Software. Now, if you're using an Android device, it is most likely that you have things like, or you have browsers like Phoenix browser, and there are many other browsers that are cross-platform. You have UC browser, you have DuckDuckGo, you have Tor, you have many. So you choose the browser that you want and you open the browser. Now, to show you how to access CTBN, I'm going to use Firefox from Mozilla. So I'll open my Firefox, and now that I am on Firefox, now when you open your browser, what you will generally see is this window. On small screens you might see something like this. No, on small screen you will see a certain window, okay, that will display to you this address bar that prompts you this one or this one, that prompts you to enter the domain or the link of the site you want to follow. So in my case, I'm going to go to ctbn.org. ctbn.org in lowercase or in uppercase, it doesn't matter. Once you enter this, you hit enter, you'll be taken to the Cameroon Textbook Network web application. Now, this is what you will see if you are using English as your preferred language for your machine. Now, nothing can shake or move because of this cookie banner. This cookie banner prompts you to enter in or to accept rather cookie information. Now, a cookie or cookies are pieces of information that every web application or website needs in order to make the site operational on your machine. All right. And generally, most of them will come with cookies that are necessary and cookies that are not necessary. Now, the CTBN web application uses only necessary cookies. There are no additional cookies or third-party cookies used by CTBN. So this banner, this cookie banner, prompts you to accept or reject this necessary cookie. Now, if you accept, you can proceed into using the site. Now, if you reject, you're taken to another site that explains to you exactly what cookies are, why they are important, and why site owners, web application owners need them. So here I'm going to accept. And once I've accepted, this is the Cameroon Textbook Network or CTBN web application. So these are the various parts of it. that you can go ahead and type on your phone to see them. Now, this view, what you're seeing right now is for large screens. Now, if you're having a small device like a mobile phone, an Android phone, an iPhone with a relatively small screen width, what you will see is this. This is what you will see instead. So you have the menu icon here, this three bar, what we usually call the hamburger icon. When you click it, it will display the navigation links you saw on the large screen. So you have the documentation link, the pricing link, terms of use link, the privacy policy link, our mission, the sandbox link, sign up and sign in. So you can click on the close to close it. And then this is for the language. You can select the language you want to view the CTBN web application in. I am currently on English, but you can switch it to French if you're more comfortable with French, and the site will be switched to French. So this is about it for accessing the Cameroon Textbook Network application. Now, I will prompt you, I will invite you, I will recommend that you read the documentation. The documentation is pretty, it's concise, it's straight to the point. It tells you just what you need to know in order to know the components of CTBN and to actually navigate through and learn the major functionalities it offers and how they work. Now, this is the documentation menu that you can use to pull out the documentation topics, and you pretty much know where you are thanks to this background white, in fact, this white background for the link. Now, if I click on another link, you will find out the page has changed and you know exactly where you are. So basically, this is it for the CTBN, how to access the CTBN web application. I hope that you can visit the documentation and learn about how or what the CTBN is made up of and how they work. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about how you can create an account on the Cameroon Textbook Network in order to get started, whether you are a supplier, a or a customer. Now, supplier profiles is something we'll talk about in later videos. Or for those that want to read the documentation, you can always read about them in the documentation. So that was it really for that was it for the introduction to the Cameroon Textbook Network, and I hope to see you in the next video. So please be well and see you later.